Hello, everyone. This is MMA Interesting Prospects podcast. Today, our guest is Alexander Schenk, who will fight on LFA 240 August 28th. Hello, Alexander. How are you?
I'm pretty good, man. I appreciate you being on the show. I'm excited to talk to you. Let's go.
And so far, you had I think that like a great year. You had two big wins, and we will talk about it in the second. But let's start from your upcoming fights. So we are around a week to the fight. So how your camp is going, and how do you feel before this fight?
Yeah, camp was pretty good. A lot of good work. I've been training. It's like a little bit of a gap. I fought February, then March, and now I'm not fighting until August. So it's a little bit of a gap. So I got to add a little bit of more things, develop some new skills. But I'm very excited for this fight. I feel like this is one of the perfect matchups, like stylistically for me. He fights in a good way for my style. So that's why we took the fight.
And actually, I think didn't like watch a lot of like footage of his, but in the end, he got a good record, and he's like I believe 3 wins were against like also a good like regional fighters. So I think that it can be like in some ways a test for you.
Yes, sir. That's the plan. That's what they think. But my plan is to make it look easy. I plan to go out there. I studied very well. I know his style. Had a lot of help with a lot of like other sources. So I feel very confident in my ability, and I feel confident I can make it look relatively easy.
But it will be probably like good thing because it's not hard to look easy against like bad competition, and if you look good against like really good competition, it means that you like made a lot of progress. So I think that in the end you are at this stage of your career that you should be like tested a little bit. So fight against like good regional prospects, good veterans of the sport, or this kind of level of the fighters, which I think that can get you like even higher than you are right now.
Exactly. Yeah. Like my last two guys were pretty decent guys, pretty solid guys. The last guy I just fought in APFC. He was a 6-1. He was a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt. Fought for the 55 belt, and then fought me. So but it was a good stylistic matchup. He's not a big wrestler. He's gonna stay on the feet. I like that open stance. We're fighting in an open stance with that guy. So a lot of favorable things with me. The guy before that, at the last LFA, was a big puncher, but not a boxer, just like a puncher about my size. So if you're my size and you're just going to swing punches at my head, you're going to miss and lose.
And about the big man fight, because he got Kimura in the like last few seconds in the first round, and like from your perspective, how close was it, or like not close at all?
No, it was definitely tight, but I was not going to tap. There was nothing that was going to make me tap in that position. It was in my hometown. I live in Clarksville. I went to school. I graduated in Clarksville. I trained in Clarksville. There was no way I was going to let this guy tap me in Clarksville in front of my family, my hometown. There was no way.
And actually, you won by your first career submission in your career. And how do you like this kind of feeling? Because you had like previously like knockouts. This is a first submission. So how did it feel?
So to be honest, like I definitely could have finished him on the feet in the first round, and I went to take him down. But he fought a guy from a rival gym here in Clarksville, and he submitted that guy. And I'm the striker, so I was like, man, if I go submit this guy, he submitted the guy at the rival gym. That makes me better than both of them. So that was my mindset going into the fight.
And like before this year started, you were a 6-5. You were like regional champion. You fought against good competition. But I think that like it's hard to deny that right now it is like the best moment of your career. And did something change in your like approach to the game, or in the training that you I think that moved a little bit with your like levels in the sport?
Yeah, definitely. So we definitely developed some more skills. We developed like a little bit more distance management because I was always pretty good at not getting hit, but I wasn't necessarily good at being able to return after I dodge or whatever. I defend. They're usually too far away or I'm too far away, and we developed like staying close, staying like in that danger, but close enough to defend, close enough to attack, things like that. And then also just mentality. To be honest, is like I was 6-5. There's a loss right there would have been really really bad. So I was like, the worst thing that's happened. I got to take a risk. What else? I can't lose. I just told myself I can't lose. These last few fights, I've been telling myself I can't lose. Like, of course, it's possible to lose, but I can't let that happen. So I went out there just with that mentality, not to lose, to be aggressive, to take risks, take smart risks, but to take risk and get these people out of there.
And actually, you are in the end like quite a young fighter, but not only you have like 13 pro bouts, yes, 13, but also like you had like quite a long amateur career. With a lot of wins, and actually you beat like Cameron Sandoval, who is like undefeated prospect right now, and I think that
Yep.
overall it is like a big win. So you are like even when you are 25, you are like a really experienced fighter right now.
Yeah, sure. Yeah. So, to be honest, I've been doing this since I was 8 years old. I've been training martial arts since I was 8 years old, and I honestly love it. A lot of people do it. They're like, man, I don't want to go train today. Like my back hurt. That's what they always say. But me, like, there's nothing I'd rather do than train. Like, I'd rather train than do anything else. Like, I've done some dumb things in other people's eyes, but in my eyes, it's an investment in myself with fighting. Like, I've sacrificed so many things. I've stopped doing so many things just because of fighting, just because it like affected my training. Uh, I don't do therapy or nothing like that. Nothing against therapy, but like fighting for me, training for me is my therapy. I just feel so good. So fighting is just fun. I love to fight, and I'm usually don't take damage, so I fight as frequently as I can. In different sports, I fought boxing, dirty boxing, bare knuckle. I've done anything and everything. I'll fight anybody. Literally, my manager will like send a opponent. I'm like, brother, I'll fight anybody. You send me who you want me to fight, and we'll say yes. And anybody, I'll fight anybody, any weight, any style, any sport. I can do it all.
And this other sports, how do you like it? Because in the end, it was like dirty boxing, boxing, like MMA, like bare knuckles. So a lot of different things. And which was the favorite one?
So I'll break it down. So bare knuckle was my favorite in the sense of money. They paid me the most of any other fight I've had till this day. It was the most money I made in a fight. So bare knuckle, best money. But to be honest, like I really like training for boxing, and I like boxing. But MMA is just I love MMA because if I'm boxing a boxer and he's a better boxer than me, I'm toast. If I'm wrestling a wrestler, he's a better wrestler, I'm toast. But if I'm fighting a guy who's a better boxer than me in MMA, I'm gonna take him down. If he's a better, or I'm gonna kick him. If he's a better striker, I take him down. If he's a better grappler, I keep it on the feet. So MMA is so beautiful because of the puzzles that you have to solve and the numerous ways that you have to win.
Yes, and I think that even the like George St. Pierre once said that it's not the better fighter who won, but the fighter who fought the best at that night. And I think that this is like really smart because you have, of course, you have your style, but you have to like adjust a little bit to your opponent and find holes in his game. And definitely you can be successful with this kind of approach.
Yep, 100%. And so go back to that Carter Beekman fight. Uh, Everybody knows me as a striker karate guy. So I went out there and I shot so many takedowns on this guy with zero intentions to take him down. If I took him down, cool. But I knew his cardio wasn't going to last. He's a 55er. He had a hard weight cut at the weigh-ins. He was having like a hard time. So I knew that touching his body, constantly giving him that wrestling and making him defend the wrestling was going to tire him out. And I knew the longer the fight went, the more tired you get, the better I would do. So like just learning and implementing, like knowing your opponent, I love to study my opponent. So knowing my opponent helps me so much formulate a game plan and what style I need to fight in order to beat this guy. A lot of people say, fight your own fight. Yes, of course, but I'm gonna fight my own fight according to what this guy can do, and I'm gonna force him to do what I want him to do. He's gonna be in position, and he's gonna think that, oh, this is dangerous. Let me not do this. So I'm gonna do this, and that's gonna cause him to be countered. That's going to cause things to happen. So, I just, I know this guy's very good. So this is the biggest fight, most important fight, at least of my life yet. And beating a guy like this, a very good guy, very skilled guy, uh, only did good things for me. We're hoping for some big news, like big show news after that, especially if we go out there and get an impressive finish.
Yes, and I think that right now it's a little bit like hard to deny you, especially like with this additional win, because you have like momentum, you have experience, you have skills, and you also fought in like good promotions because it's like APFC, LFA, so definitely really high level promotions. So the win probably will like open some interesting doors for you.
Yeah, yeah, 100%. So like 2 weeks ago, I don't know if I'm supposed to say this, but I'll give you the drop. But 2 weeks ago, I got offered to fight PFL in Austin, Texas, against Jesus Pineda. He won the tournament before, and I wanted to say yes. Like I told my coach, my management sent it to me, and my management, my coach, and me, we were all talking about it. And I was like, I'd love to fight this guy. I literally thought I could go out there, wrap him up, choke him if I wanted. But I was excited because it was a big promotion. It was a challenging guy, a tough guy, very good guy, a lot of experience. He has more wins than I have fights, pro and Emmy combined. So it was a very challenging fight that I would have had, but it was 5 days notice. Uh, and cutting to 145 on 5 days notice against the former champ. My coach and management was like, it's not the smart idea. If we win this fight, we can get full camps for big shows after this. And so I sadly had to turn it down. So we're looking for after this fight, big performance, big show, and be good in the hood.
And before you mentioned like karate, and I believe like it was the first sport that you train.
Yes, correct. I trained karate. That's the first like martial arts I trained, and I trained it all the way until 18. I started teaching like at 16. So I was like assisting classes at 16 and I kept training and training until 18. And then I just stopped karate because MMA. Uh, but like I still taught it 18, 19, 20. We had a guy at the gym named Ethan. He was doing like karate tournaments. So I was like point sparring with him to help him out with karate. And then also him point sparring with me, help me like, remember all that little karate stuff so I could implement it in fights now. So, yeah, I love karate. I think it definitely made me the person that I am in the sense of like the man that I am, the honor, the respect, the integrity that martial arts showed me, all is from karate, to be honest.
So like MMA after karate, MMA was like natural step for you, or did you have like spend some time in finding the other things? So MMA.
Yeah, so the way I got into MMA is like I always like fighting. I like George St. Pierre because he was a karate guy and started doing MMA. But then I have my head coach. His name is Jacob Kilburn. He'll corner me in this fight. He corners me every fight. He was in the UFC as well. But Jacob Kilburn, he did karate, and while he was doing karate, he ended up stopped doing karate, only training MMA and kickboxing. And he fought this guy named Edward Massey in Nashville. And so I went there with my friend, and we watched the fight. And I seen Jacob knock out this guy Edward Massey, and I was like, "Oh snap, this is really cool!" And like I always looked up to Jacob, and then so I started training MMA because he did it. The classes that he would do, I would do his classes, uh, and seeing him, he's the reason that I started MMA. Then I branched from karate to MMA because I seen another karate guy from my gym, from my hometown, do MMA, and then he eventually made it to UFC, PFL, the highest of levels. So,
And right now, like with what gym you are right now with?
so that my dream is to UFC. UFC is the goal because I don't care about the money because there's so many jobs that I can do to get money. Like I could do sales and make mad money. I could do marketing. I have a lot of options and opportunity, but my goal is to be in the UFC. Everybody knows UFC is the best fighters in the world. People don't, when people literally think the sport is called UFC. People find out I do MMA, they're like, "Oh, you do UFC, bro?" That's how important UFC is, and they know the best fighters are there. So if I'm in the UFC, then I'm one of the best fighters in the world. And then if I'm ranked, even better and better and better. It just goes up and up. Like I have no thing against any other promotion like PFL. I definitely would have fought for them if I had a full camp. The ONE FC, I love the ONE FC because I believe they like truly appreciate the martial arts. They appreciate the grappling, the striking, everything. So any big show like that I could fight full time. Thankfully, is the goal from here.
And you like competed in a lot of sports, but do you have maybe something other on your like let's say bucket list from like combat sport that you would like to compete in?
Yeah. So There's definitely a few things. My number one thing I would like to do actually is I would like to wrestle an RAF. I would love to wrestle RAF. That would be so cool. I wrestled in high school. I never wrestled in college, but I had like offers and things to go to college with wrestling. So I was always, pretty good. I never took wrestling serious because it was MMA was the goal, and I just wrestled because I knew doing karate people wanted to wrestle. So I would really like RF or RAF. It's very fun to wrestle. I never did freestyle, only done folk style, so it'll be a little bit of a adjustment, but I could find some great people around here to help me out, and I feel like that would be very, very fun, to be honest.
And actually, this is like right now quite a big thing because a lot of like fighters from MMA are competing there, and it is like I think that another good way to like earn money and show yourself because in the end, when like there is like Arman Sarukian or Colby Covington, you definitely have like the additional exposure.
Exactly, and that's another reason. It's like that exposure is such a big show that gets a lot of hype, especially if I get on a card like that. With Jordan Burroughs is even wrestling on the next card, so if I get on a big card like that and wrestle somebody like I don't know Uriah Faber, Marab, somebody like that, that would be such a cool experience to do, win, lose, or draw.
And right now in your gym, do you have maybe fighters like you, so like really good pro fighters, or maybe like amateur prospects, the fighters that you think that they can be like successful in the near future?
Yeah, of course. There's loads of them. I have a couple guys at the gym. There's a guy named Benjamin Blair. He's pretty skilled. He's a 6'3". He fights at 145. Super long and tall guy. Good wrestling, unorthodox striking. He's pretty good. There's this guy who hasn't even have a fight yet, but his name is Tim Allen. He's or Tim Lee is his name. He's very, very skilled kickboxer. He just started recently, but he's picking everything up really fast. And there's another guy from across the way. His name is Cam Bennett. He fights in Island Fights, PF Pensacola. That's like his home stable is Pensacola, and he's pretty skilled. He just took a loss his last fight, but I think skill for skill, he's very good, and he's improved so much from when I first met him to his last fight. So I definitely think those three people would be have a lot of very, very bright future in this game.
So you are right now one of the like or the most experienced fighter.
Yeah, yeah, 100%. Out of those people, I think I have more fights than all of them combined. To be honest.
But in the end, I think that this is quite interesting because you are not like 34 or something like this, but you are a young fighter, and when like there is like a combination of your like all of your fights, it's probably like 30 or something like this.
Yep, yeah, definitely. It's definitely a lot. I don't know the exact number, but yeah, it's close to like mid 20s, 30s. And it's just, like I said, I try to stay active as possible. I feel like if you get momentum, you just carry that momentum. So I try to fight as frequently as possible because I took no injuries my last 6 fights, to be honest. My last 6 fights, I didn't get hurt or injured. So just trying to knock out fights. If I'm in shape, if I'm healthy, if it's a good opponent, I'm down to fight. I'm down to fight this guy, uh, LFA August 28th, and then the following Tuesday I'd fight on Contender Series, and be fine with that, man. I'm a game guy. I'm smart with it. I don't do dumb things. I don't like smoke. I don't drink. I don't do nothing like that. I'm training full time. I know people hate this guy, but Ian Gary said like he doesn't have like a training camp. I'm very similar. I don't necessarily have a training camp. I train year round every single day. My son does karate. After this interview, I'm gonna take him to karate, and then we'll train after that myself. I train every day. When we have a fight, we just like specialize it a little bit more towards the style of my opponent. Like if he's a striker, try to keep that takedown good, keep the striking good. If he's a wrestler, takedown defense good, jujitsu good, things like that.
So with your like love of the sport, do you have maybe some kind of like days, maybe like 2 or 3 days that you think that you definitely need to rest, and not only your body but also your like head, just to do something else?
Yeah, 100%. I don't do it as much like when I have a fight coming up because like the wrestling because I wrestled in high school. The wrestling mentality is like you just keep going, keep going, keep going. So like during a camp, unless like I do something in training, like I tweak my back or hurt my wrist or like something crazy, then I might take a little break. But I played a game like I played a video game. I go like hiking. There's this thing called Cumming Falls here in Tennessee. It's a like a mile hike to get to the like a waterfall, and but there's like water all throughout it, out it, and like I tell myself like, all right, we're gonna get to the waterfall, but we're not gonna touch water the whole time. So I gotta like jump from rock to rock, do things like that. Stuff like that is to me is fun. Um, I just like talking to people. So like, if anybody will sit there and listen, I'll talk to them. If anybody needs help with something, I help them out. So I enjoy, simple things. I'm just a regular guy that happens to get in the cage every once in a while, half naked, and fights.
Yes, definitely kind of like crazy job to have.
Yes, sir, it is.
And you mentioned that you like to like analyze your opponents, but let's say that you can pick a fighter from the UFC that you will fight, and like it's not like a call out thing, but more of the like this would be like a fun fight for you. Do you have maybe some name that you think that you against this fighter would be like super interesting fight?
Yeah, of course. There's so many fighters that I would love to fight. So I like watching fighters that are in my weight class because I hope one day that I get to fight that guy. Like for the longest, it was Ilya Taporia because he was undefeated, and he's such like to me he's such like a scary guy because he hits very hard. He has very good boxing, but he also has very good grappling as well. So it's a very dangerous fight. That's definitely a fight that I would like to fight and show that there's another way to beat him other than the way Gaethje beat him. I could beat him in a totally different way than Gaethje won. But somebody that I would like to fight that could be a call out. If I fight, contender series, I would love to call out Tommy McMillan or whatever the guy's name is. He's like from O'Malley's gym. He kind of looks like O'Malley. I would love to fight that guy. I think he sucks. Uh, People love him though because he fucking just throw or sorry for cussing, but he just throws punches and a lot of volume. So people love him, and so that would help me fighting him because I get to beat up on him, take some of his clout. Uh, I don't think he's very good. I just don't think he's very skilled. They say he's good. Everybody says he's good. O'Malley backs him, and O'Malley I think is good. So maybe he's good, but I would love that to be my UFC debut. Or if Nate Landwehr is still in the UFC, I'd love to fight him. That's an easy fight to get out of the way. But those are two fights that I would love to have.
Yes, definitely. Like really, it would be like super entertaining fights, and probably like with especially like Tommy because he's like probably will be like kind of a big star in the near future. Probably it's like good to be ready and maybe like short notice fight or something like this because sometimes that this kind of things happen that you can take short notice fight against like super big name in the end.
Exactly, 100%. Like Kevin Holland did something like that. So like this is definitely something that I would 100% be interested in. I honestly uh, rather take a short notice fight than a for the UFC. Take a short notice fight than a full camp fight, just because I feel my style and my at like diversity in my attacks are so hard to prepare for on short notice. So if a guy has a week, 2 weeks to prepare for me, I feel like it's gonna be so hard. I know, of course, the people in the UFC are the best of the best, and the coaches are the best and the best, but just my style is so it's you can look at it and be like, all right, I think I can do this, and then you get in there with it, it's a totally different thing. I'm so much stronger, so much faster. It's so much harder to hit me than it looks, and so I feel like my style on short notice is so hard to prepare for. That's why majority of my pro fights have been short notice fights, just because I know that I can beat these guys on short notice. But also sometimes I've lost these times because they're short notice. But
Yes, definitely kind of like a risky thing, but in the end, it can be like good for your career. Okay, Alexander, so many thanks for the time and for conversation. Of course, I hope that you will win this fight, you will extend your winning streak, and after this, something like big will happen in your career.
yes, sir. I appreciate that very much, man. I like the page, man. I watched you a little bit, and I like you, man. You're a pretty cool guy, so I appreciate the opportunity, man.